Well, hello, everyone. It's great to be back on your TV with an update for the city of Belleville for the week of November the 9th. And I don't have a lot of news today about COVID-19. Obviously, it still continues in our community. We're still doing well, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the provincial government changes. Other than just to remind everyone, wash your hands, practice social distancing, wear a mask. We've got to stay on top of it. What I do want to talk a little bit about today is the sudden and tragic news that we all woke up to yesterday morning with the passing of Councillor Patricia Culhane for the city of Belleville. Pat had a very sudden illness late on Saturday afternoon. She became ill and was rushed to the hospital. And just before midnight on Sunday, she passed away, surrounded by her family and all her loved ones. And this has been a shaking bit of news for us on Belleville City Council. So you can see just behind me here is her seat at the Belleville City Council table. And this week, Belleville City Council, we had a meeting and we needed to discuss or transact some business for the city, but none of us were in the mood to carry on as usual. So we really expedited the whole meeting, basically one motion to approve all the business before us. And we took a moment to remember our colleague, Patricia Culhane. We each placed a red rose at her seat and we had a moment of silence. And we joined the community this week in mourning Patricia Culhane's death. She touched a lot of people. In the coming days, we'll get some information about the family in terms of how they're going to have a funeral for her in these COVID-19 times. Pat came from a very large family, and so there's a lot of people, and with limits, we're not sure how that's all going to go. But there is a book of condolences at Belleville City Hall, and that'll be there until Monday, November the 16th. So, and it's open between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday to Friday. And so I encourage people to stop by. We ask you to wear your mask and to maintain social distancing. We do have a security person at the front door who will make sure that's enforced, and we'll be sanitizing pens to make sure it's safe. But if you want to come in and leave a note about your condolences for the family of Councillor Pat Culhane, you're welcome to do so. And then on the 23rd of November, which is our next scheduled council meeting, under the Municipal Act, we're required to declare the seat vacant. And that's when council will do our tribute to Pat. We will talk about our memories of Pat Culhane and her very, very long history of service to the city. You know, a lot of people know Pat from 50 years of being a nurse here in Belleville at Belleville General Hospital as a pediatric nurse and an emergency room nurse and then an administrator. She touched the lives of so many people during very, very difficult and traumatic times. And I was always amazed when I went across the city to hear people who, she was there when a parent or a loved one was suffering either at the end of their life or was brought back from real illness. And Pat was such an important part of it. And they saw her compassion and her kindness during those times, and they'll never forget it. So we'll hear about all those stories, and we'll hear about her terms on city council. She was elected for the first time in 2006 and then re-elected in 2010. In 2014, Pat ran for the position of mayor, and she lost only by 161 votes. But she used that time in between to travel. She was a contract nurse in the Arctic, dealing with Canada's northern communities. And then she came back in 2008 and served this term as a Belleville City Councillor. So stay tuned for YourTV. They'll be broadcasting live and then on repeat the council meeting of November the 23rd. And I'm looking forward to sharing some stories about the people that knew Pat, but also the Pat that many people knew, but also some people didn't know. So, and all my colleagues on City Council will be happy to do that as well. This is a short message this week. The only other thing I want to touch upon is Remembrance Day. Obviously, this is going to be a different Remembrance Day. The Belleville Veterans Council has determined that it's going to be a private ceremony, but YourTV will be broadcasting it live, and it will be broadcasting it afterwards as well. So tune in to that. There will also be information on the city's website about the ceremony. And just because COVID is interrupting our lives, it doesn't mean we're not going to celebrate and remember the sacrifice of the men and women who served Canada and served to protect our freedoms. So we'll do that. In the meantime, I'll be back in touch with everyone next week, but I do want to take another opportunity to say thank you to YourTV for allowing us this opportunity to communicate directly. I hope that this week, those of you who were touched by Pat's involvement in your life, take the time to mourn. It's okay to be sad. She will be missed, and we're not going to see someone like her around for a very, very long time. But we're lucky that she was in our lives, and we're lucky that she was able to serve the city. And we will, remember her over this next little while, and give our sympathies and condolences to the family. All the best. We'll be in touch with you again next week.